runs cold. We take our loot but don't get old. Take our loot, but don't get old.
Sorry, voice is off. Trying to get Chloe to say hello. She was being stubborn about it. Very nice day out, so she's pretty pooped out. All right. We got all sorts of goodies. Yes, I am feeling notably better today. I still have a bit of a sore throat from all of my horrible sneezing the last few days, because when I sneeze, I tend to shout. Infinite Sotex. Oh, man. That is a little, That's a little weird looking, isn't it? Sorry about that. Infinite Sotex. There we go. Alright, so there is a lot to talk about today. We'll give some more people a little bit more time to get in here. How's everybody doing today? Good, bad, great, terrible? Man, I want to play more sea shanties in the background, but I haven't like vetted any of them. Know if it's know if like, because you know you don't just want to like grab random stuff off the internet, because then it might end up being copyright. And all right, so let's look at a couple things first and foremost. So I saw someone in chat ask what order I'm going to be playing through the Lords at release, and the answer is rather simple. So the way it works around these parts is that, for those unaware, I have a Patreon page, and at a certain tier level, you gain the ability to vote on what future content's going to be. So right now, there's a vote going on for people for people to decide what order we're going to be playing through the campaigns. That being said, I fully intend to play through all 4 of the Vampire Coast campaigns, probably before things get fully released. Contessa Carlotta Jacoba was just confirmed. I've got a shoe right here that I'll eat if you can prove it. I refuse to lose that bet. I refuse. Anyway, so yesterday I unfortunately did not have time, or I was too sick to show up and talk about Noctilus. So we will start with Noctilus today and go through all of his jazz, and then after we finish with Noctilus, we will go to probably my favorite character revealed so far, which is RNS Saltspite. So far, RNS is really different from everyone we've seen so far. Data miners say the Silver Princess. Well, data miners can... I don't... I'm gonna make a video pretty soon about data miners. Don't trust them. But I just like how different she is so far. Yeah, it's not anything nefarious. She's really interesting. Krakens, that was somebody else. That wasn't 10-1 that died in that book. Alright, let's dive in. So, Noctilus was revealed yesterday. Count Noctilus, once known as Nicholas von Karstein of Sylvania, was drawn to the Maelstrom at the heart of the ocean to feast upon its dark magic. He performed a mighty ritual to transport himself, his castle, and all his undead minions there to the Galleon's graveyard, a mystical place where wrecks and hulks of the sea are drawn. Reborn as Count Noctilus, he raised the shattered remains of sunken warships to form the hull of the Bloody Reaver and ride the waves of the mortal seas once more. Pretty standard. Where's Chloe? She's right there. You can see her. She blends in with the bed a little bit, but you can see her. Faction effects. Count Noctilus's appetite for conquest allows him to gain war declaration missions with unique rewards and rapidly swell his ranks for the task with increased recruitment capacity for his pirate crew and reduced recruitment duration for the Necrofex Colossi. So that's pretty awesome. He's able to recruit more troops more quickly, which is probably a really important thing for him, seeing as he starts like in a solo province that's pretty far away from everything. I'm really curious what these war declaration missions are going to be. I'm assuming that means like it'll give you a quest to like declare war on a certain faction. If you do, you get bonuses. We'll have to see though. Lord effects. As a consummate Lord of the Dead, or Lord of Dread, excuse me, Count Noctilus benefits from reduced upkeep for Necrofex Colossi in addition to increased weapon strength for any monstrous units under his command. So he's the big boy leader. He's all about them big boys. And God, there's like a Necrofex Colossus in every single one of his things. So it seems to be that he's a little tied into the Necrofex Colossus, which I'm super excited about. The Necrofex Colossus is one of my favorite additions to the roster. And he has one as a mount, which we saw in the Steam images that was an early reveal. Also, can I just say, and feel free to agree or disagree with me in chat, but can I just say how awesome I think it is that how quickly they're going into these reveals? Like, I was expecting them to drag out the Legendary Lord reveals over like 4 weeks. And instead, they're giving us it on the daily. Like, we're finding out who the Mystery Lord is tomorrow. Which is going to be super exciting. And then his enchanted item is Captain Ross Moondial. This strange trinket grants Count Noctilus increased movement speed and line of sight on the campaign map, as well as the ability to summon zombie deckhands across the battlefield. So having some free summons already makes this a super powerful item, and more than likely, this is going to be a killer item in multiplayer because summons are one of the most powerful things in the game, especially in multiplayer where funds are so restricted. And the fact that it sounds like it has multiple summons and it sounds like it also has a really long range, that's going to be an incredibly powerful item. It is a little heartbreaking that it's called Captain Roth's Moondial because that's the whole point of the Dreadfleet book is the Moondial. This definitely means that this story is taking place after Dreadfleet, and I guess it's changing the storyline so that Roth and Aranessa and Noctilus survived. But based on the fact that Noctilus has this, Captain Roth is dead. Either he is your quest battle opponent or he's just dead. But yeah, that doesn't bode well for Roth. I wonder if his ship is gonna make an appearance or not. Alright, and we'll look at the preview animations in a moment. Unique skills. Master of the Dreadfleet. Count Noctilus is the undisputed leader of the Dreadfleet, increasing Lord recruitment rank faction-wide. That's fantastic and really solid. Regenerative Hull. Count Noctilus' preternatural powers of regeneration extend merely beyond himself, increasing the replenishment rate and recruitment capacity of his army. So he's already stacking his faction effect for increased recruitment and his regenerative hull for even more increased recruitment. So this guy's going to be able to hire a ton of people. We've only been up for about 5 minutes. Stream started 11 minutes ago, but I ran like 5 minutes of... Who the hell is Roth again? Captain Jaeger Roth was the main character of the Dreadfleet novel, and he's the one that ended up killing Count Noctilus. Yeah, he defeated Count Noctilus and killed him in the book. Alright, his next thing that he has, and regeneration is always great. Replenishment rate is always a big plus. Vandal. Plundering is in Count Noctilus's blood, increasing horde growth for his ship, as well as income gained from raiding and sacking settlements. Can't complain there. Seems like really, really solid mechanic. Good way to get money. And horde growth is always a big plus. I really like the fact that this faction is a true hybrid of horde and settlements. Really, really like that. Hello, Paul. Wouldn't it be cool if the pirates had a mercenary recruitment system like hiring ogres and stuff? Yeah, I guess. I don't think that really fits the Vampire Coast as well, just because instead of mercenary hiring, they just kill them and raise them back up. It's kind of hold the gimmick. Like, it basically is a mercenary faction, just everybody's dead. That being said, technically the Vampire Coast has the first official ogre unit in the game. The animated Hulks are technically ogres, even though they're so horribly distorted and such that it's hard to tell. But they are in fact ogre units, because ogres are really common to see on ships. We'll talk about Saltspite in a moment. We'll get to Saltspite. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. Of the von Karstein line, Count Noctilus' former life as Nicholas von Karstein means he is well versed in striking terror into the hearts of his foes, as well as regenerating in the face of seemingly insurmountable injuries. So this pretty much seems to be heavily reminiscent of Vlad being the founder of the line, in that Vlad's was very well known for his regenerative powers, mainly thanks to his ring, but clearly that's resulting in an unlockable regeneration bonus for Noctilus, and it looks like this is what will make him cause terror. The Sea Curse. The Curse of the Galleon's Graveyard is known and feared throughout the coast, but Count Noctilus has found a way to harness its power for his own gain, increasing the leadership and melee defense of his Depth Guard, Deck Droppers, and Terrorgeists. That's a pretty weird mix there. So he's like all about monsters, Necrofex Colossi, then he has a skill that further buffs his Depth Guard, which are like Grave Guard, Deck Droppers, which are the flying fast cav shooter dudes, and then a really random Terrorgeist buff. And then Invincible Fleet. Count Noctilus and his fleet are infamous for their terrible tenacity, resulting in the leadership of his army being increased, and making Noctilus himself unbreakable. That is a fucking ridiculous buff for Vampire Coast. Is there beef between Vlad and Manfred? Oh yeah. Manfred was the one who got Vlad killed. Manfred was the one who totally got... Vlad would never have died if it weren't for Manfred backstabbing him. Do I think they will put any direct Dreadfleet references when Saltspite and Noctilus interact? Yeah, I think so. I think there will also be a lot of Dreadfleet references in like their quest lines and stuff. Nikki, yeah. Yep. There was a priest, the Grand Theogonist, fasted and prayed for like days on a way to defeat Vlad, and while he was doing that, Manfred von Karstein basically found a way to whisper to him to take Vlad's ring. And so they got the best thief of the Empire and sent him into Vlad's camp, and Manfred was supposed to be watching it to make sure that nobody could get into where all the vampire lords were in their coffins. But Manfred just let him walk in, take Vlad's ring, and run out. And that made Vlad mortal, and Vlad died during the Siege of Altdorf. So Manfred was like 99% responsible for what happened. And Manfred then also tracked down the thief who stole the ring and killed him and made sure the ring was hidden. And it didn't reappear until the end times. There was a brief thing in a Gotrek and Felix book where Vlad von Karstein was like half resurrected, but Manfred's in that story. He fights Gotrek and Felix in that story, and Vlad gets resurrected as kind of like a monster, because Manfred purposely screwed up his resurrection so he wouldn't come back fully formed. So he kind of came back as more like a Vargolf. How many likes for t-shirt removal? None of you would like that. I can tell you that now. None of you would appreciate that. I am the epitome of dad bod, and not in a great way, because I don't have any of the redeeming features. Alright, here we see a start location on the Vortex and the Mortal Empires map, which we're going to talk about Mortal Empires in a minute, because we got a really big reveal today. Starts in the Galleon's Graveyard, not a big surprise there. Okay, it's right here, so let's go ahead and talk about it. So, really big news that CA just kind of casually threw out is that the Mortal Empires map has been substantially expanded. So, first of all, over here, Blackfire Pass and oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what this settlement is. Oh, the Desolation of Nagash. So the Desolation of Nagash and Blackfire Pass have been extremely expanded to the east. Like this is they used to cut off right here along the left side of my mouse here. And now they expand drastically east. Like this area, this ballpark is where roughly Crookback Mountain is, which is the headquarters of Clan Rictus and where Tretch Craventail should be, quite frankly. If they add this in and they actually put Crookback Mountain on the map, I wonder if they're going to move Tretch. Which if they did, then I wonder who they would put in Nagaroth to replace him. So, really interesting there. But in any event, so we had some expansion here. I don't know if that means anything. There's no confirmation there's any new settlements. It's just the provinces have gotten larger. But much more importantly are the actual new places. So on this map now, from what I understand, based on what we've seen in RNS's video, we now have a playable Albion, a playable Sartosa, which is where RNS starts, and then they've also added the land of the Dervishes, where Sunburg is, and they've added the Heart of the Jungle, which is the Wood Elf. So there's Wood Elves now on the there are Wood Elves now on the Mortal Empires map. Gabo, it's not clickbait if I have shit to talk about. Clickbait is when fucking... I'm not going to name names. Clickbait is when someone just comes out and says, I'm just going to read this thing verbatim, and that's my video. That's clickbait. Get out of my house. So this map is considerably expanded. I also read on Reddit, some people are saying Chupudal has been added. Like the settlement, so we'll have to check that out. But A lot of people on Reddit have been talking about it, but really, really exciting. That the Mortal Empire map is being expanded. Like, just it being expanded southwards feels so good. Like, it's nice to know that maybe every once in a while CA can just stretch the map a little bit. Like, that's going to be super nice. Plus, if the Heart of the Jungle means we have a new Wood Elf character coming, my body is ready, man. My body is so ready. Vayne, yeah. Yeah, it looks different. Mm-hmm. It's not a playable faction. It's just like on the Vortex map. It seems to be somewhere you can go now. So like you can actually go to it instead of just it being like a just a play like an island that you can't interact with. And then last but not least, we get a picture of the Bloody Reaver itself. It's definitely a toned down version from the Dreadfleet, but you can see it's kind of got the fortress castle in the background, and it looks the same as Dreadfleet. They just toned down the size a little bit because the Dreadfleet one was like a fucking mess to look at because it had like a bunch of random ship parts all smashed together, and you'd look at it and you're like, "There's no way that thing floats." Noctilus looks really, really solid. I think for most players, he's gonna be the most not generic, but he's gonna be the most powerful without having anything really new to him. Lord in the game, because he's gonna be. It looks like he's gonna be a hybrid caster, melee tank lord who's gonna be like really tough. Yeah, his chin piece is really cool. I like that he's kind of got like a Nehekaran aesthetic on top of all of his. He's really got like an ancient feel going to him. All right, and then let's talk about the lady of the day, RNS Saltspite. So RNS Saltspite, which I'm really glad to see they're going hard with her mutant aesthetic because look, she's got like fucking scales and claws. Like she's literally just copy pasted out of the Dreadfleet, which is awesome. So let's see what we got to work with here. Queen of the Tides, RNS Saltspite, is one of the most respected and feared pirate captains of Sartosa. Some say she is the daughter of the sea god Manan himself, and he whispers to her to take control of all the world's oceans. Now, many a sea-bloated corpse washes up against the swordfish's hull, and so the vampire first mate breathes on life into them, creating a vast rabble of loyal crew ready to serve at Captain Saltspite's command. As part of the living realm, rather than the undead, she commands a human pirate crew known as the Sartosa Free Company, otherwise reluctantly sharing control of the denizens of the Vampire Coast. So, I really like the fact that although she does have the Vampire Coast roster, clearly they're running it with the idea that she doesn't like them, but they're all just a means to an end. Sorry, Foul. I gotta go think time's a ticking. Normally you stream a lot later than this. The vampire first mate makes sense. I mean, obviously Aranessa is not a wizard and she's not a vampire. I'm really glad they left her as human. Really glad. Let's see. Mute. Her story is kind of complicated. Um. Yep, she is technically a mutant. Yep, and she is from Norska. It talks about in the book, in the Dreadfleet book, she is a daughter of Manon. That being said, I don't mean that in the sense that Manon like took human form Zeus style and came and like got busy with a girl and then like she was born and all that stuff. She has a human father and a human mother, but her father is also Manon. Like there are characters in the Warhammer Fantasy universe who have godparents or parents who are gods, but they also have mortal parents. It's kind of like those gods influence the that individual as they're born. So Arnis Saltspite is she is a daughter of Manon. And the reason we know that for a fact is because in the book, at the climax of the final battle, there was a really, really big moment where Aranessa looks like she's praying or channeling or something, and while she's doing it, a colossal trident thing comes like bursting out of the ocean and just fucks up one of the Dread Fleet. Um, and she's only able to do that because she's Manon's daughter. Like, she has a direct connection with Manon. It's not like she's not an adopted daughter of Manon. She's a literal progeny of him. And she was born a mutant, but it's more accurate to say she was born a mermaid to human parents who then cast her out because the story doesn't get super in depth with it, but essentially the idea with that tribe was Norska is normally very accepting of mutations, but only if they pertain to the great powers, so like the four chaos gods. Aranessa, with her mutations, it was probably painfully obvious that she was a daughter of the sea god, and that probably didn't fly with the tribe. If the tribe she was born to was like super chaos focused, that wasn't gonna fly. So they probably just chucked her out into the sea to get rid of her, to like sacrifice her to the gods and be like, nope, we're loyal. Like, this was a fluke. Where do I think the most likely location for the last lord will be? I have no idea. Maybe Chupulal? Maybe? It would be a little close to Felhart. Or, Harkin, but we'll see. How do you think she got vampires to follow her? She seems to be... So here's the thing. Getting a vampire to sign up with a faction is not that difficult. Arnessa Saltspite is a super scary individual. She's super powerful, very dangerous. And as long as she had something the vampires benefit from, like taking over the entire ocean and getting all of that power concentrated into their faction, there are plenty of vampires that would sign up with her in a heartbeat if she was willing to tolerate them. Which it pretty much, what it sounds like, based on this excerpt here, what it sounds like the idea that they're running with is that Manon himself, like the actual sea god and her father, is telling her, is literally telling her, I'm sending you these undead via the waves, and use them. Like, I'm sending you this undead, I'm sending you these vampires, use them, and use them to, go forth and enact my will to take over the oceans. Where would Felhart make sense? Anywhere that there was a coastline. Narrowing it down harder than that's going to be kind of difficult. Okay, let's take a look at her actual stuff. Arnessa Saltspite's ruthlessness earns her additional income from raiding and sacking settlements, as well as increasing her chance of finding treasure maps. That is an instant bonus for me. I'm really looking forward to the treasure map mechanic for this race. I hope it's good and fun and has good rewards. So I am super excited for that. Lord effects. Arnessa's Saltspite's inspiring presence and aura of leadership increases the weapon strength and melee attack of her Sartosa Free Company units. So one thing I'm interested in is everything I keep reading about this Sartosa Free Company makes it seem like they're a really hardcore melee unit and not Empire Free Company. Like, if they are just Empire Free Company, but with a different skin, I don't understand why it would have all these buffs being purely melee related, and not their range attack, because Free Company Militia, Free Company Militia for the Empire are much, much, much stronger as a skirmish-based range unit, not a melee unit. So I'm wondering if this unit is different, or if they have a similar name, or what the deal is. But like, reading through Arnessa's stuff, she gives them like a fuckload of buffs. So I don't know what their deal is, but hopefully they're a strong unit, because they're her only unique unit. I was kind of hoping we'd get like 2 or 3 human units, but it looks like there's only 1. For a mount, she has the Rotting Promethean. There are a few sights as terrifying as Arnessa Saltspite riding into battle on a giant rotting crustacean. So I'm suspecting that this is the smaller giant crab. So like the monstrous cavalry or monstrous infantry sized giant crab, not the really big one. I think the really big one is the Rotting Leviathan from the actual White Dwarf magazine. I think the smaller blue ones you see in the Steam page, I think those are called Rotting Prometheans. Arnessa versus Krokgar, who would win? Krokgar almost assuredly, but I bet Arnessa is a fuckload cheaper. Nope, someone's trying to call me, but whoever it is, they can wait. And then this is the thing I'm the most excited about. Her unique weapon, Krakens Bane. As its name suggests, Krakens Bane bestows Arnessa Saltspite with an aura that increases the melee attack of friendly units as well as giving them a bonus when facing large foes. Like, what? Grace confirmed that the small one is the Promethean and the big one is the Leviathan. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so there are two... So the small crab is the Promethean, which is what she rides, and the big one is the Leviathan. Your dad uses this ringstone? Infinite, a lot of people use that ringtone because it's literally the generic automatic one for those of us who are too lazy to change it. But like a bonus versus large aura passive, that is so fucking strong. That is so fucking strong. Like if there are some like okay units in melee and you just pop her in the middle of them to just be giving that anti-large bonus, defending all your gunman units, that's gonna be kick-ass. How does Luther hearken an army of undead if he doesn't have magic? So Harkin was severed from the winds of magic and he cannot consciously wield it, but because of the backlash, it turned him kind of into like a walking magical vortex where he naturally like pulses with magic to raise the dead around him, and it makes him functionally invincible from a magical perspective. Like if you hit him with magic, it just bounces off. That's why he can raise the dead. Is he just kind of pulses necromantic energy that just raises the dead around him in a pretty long distance and draws them to him. Unique skills: Mutant. Arnessa Saltspite may not be undead, but she is far from human. The inherent resilience of her warped form, increasing her hit points and making her immune to fatigue. God damn! Perfect Vigor? That is really good. That is really good. Perfect Vigor is like one of the best things you can get in the game. Sawfish Pegleg. Arnessa Saltspite's legs take the form of wickedly serrated, this should say sawfish bills, not swordfish, increasing her armor and weapon strength. Okay. Creatures of Banan, rotting leviathans being the big ones, allows her to reduce their upkeep and improve knowledge of rotting. Oh yeah, see, it's right here. Arnessa Saltspite's keen knowledge of rotting Promethean improve their missile resistance. It is clear why some believe her to be the daughter of the sea god Manan. They're really hammering home on that. Gifted Sailor. Arnessa Saltspite's mastery of the waves brings many benefits, increasing the leadership of our Sartosa Free Company units, as well as increasing her army's movement and replenishment rates. It's always a must-have on a horde, is movement and replenishment. Is there any more information about the Fourth Lord? No, Ronnie, but they're 100% being revealed tomorrow. And I'm going to get to laugh in so many people's faces when it's not the fucking Comtessa. Jacoba. I'm going to laugh in so many people's faces. There's going to be many red-faced individuals tomorrow. Can't wait. Self-taught gunner. Arnessa Saltspite's formidable gunnery skills increase the ammunition of carronades, mortars, and queen bess in part of her army. So definitely sounds like she is the gun lord. Like if you're wanting to run guns as your main focus for your faction, for your legendary lord, sounds like Arnessa may be the one you want to take. Because Noctilus was all about monsters. Saltspite is all about guns and her personal free company unit. And Harkin was about, I think Harkin was like Depth Guard or Terrorgeist or something like that. And then your worst nightmare. Arnessa Saltspite's reputation as one of Sartosa's most formidable pirate captains is well earned. Her notoriety boosting her melee attack and giving her a ward save, in addition to increasing plunder gained from encounters at sea. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Alright, she starts in Sartosa on both maps, just like we suspected. Very, very excited. And then there's the Swordfish. Literally looks like they ripped and they just copy pasted it right out of Dreadfleet. Looks really good. I can't wait to see these on the campaign map. I'm excited to see like the unique ships. Van Geist and Drag, that is a very popular theory. Whoever it is, she'll be hitting us tomorrow. Alright. So that's most of the news for today. Any ideas for Lisbon regiments for now? Yes, but I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole until at least 3 weeks after this DLC is dropped. Do I think the Mortars will have zombie as their crew or humans? Morty, I'm expecting zombie crew. I only think she's going to have one human unit. Otherwise, I think they would have made a thing about it. Do I think Kemmler will get a new start position? Yes, 100%. They gave Ungrim one. They're going to give Kemmler one. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a staple of the Game 1 race updates. Yeah, Tyrion's going to have a lot of problems. Ulthuan is about to get a fuckload more interesting, boys and girls. Also, potentially, Cetra the Imperishable as well. He's going to... Both Cetra and Tyrion are going to have some serious pirate problems. Check Luther's skills again. I think they improved some of the text. Okay. All right, so looks like Luther is all about zombies and depth guard. Okay. All this looks the same. They just added a Mortal Empires map. And the Dread Abyssal, which is a hilarious name for this ship because that's the name of the super mounts from the end times. What's my favorite lord so far? Saltspite. Saltspite looks fucking awesome. Hey, Spartacus, what's up, man? Khazir Khan, the only way they're gonna do the Shade Break as the ship is if Van Geist is on it. Silas, no. There is nobody in the lore who is called the Siren of Storms. Which, by the way, to all those people who kept trying to fucking tell me that RNS Saltspite is the Siren of Lords, you're wrong! She's the Queen of Tides, son. Queen of Tides, that's her epithet. I said it 1,000 times. Would someone post in the Discord Total War chat the like the page where they have the animated Lord intros? Can I tell you about the lore of the deep? Heinrich, I would love to if I knew anything about it. I'm going to do a video about the lore of the deep tonight, about what its possible inspirations might be. There are 3 sources I think they'll be drawing from. I'll do a video about it tonight, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Look at the Chaos Waste. No, it looks the same. It's always had this little patch here. And for those wondering, yes, I feel 100% certain that Game 3 is going to take us out here. A little a ways past this point, but we're going this way. We're going this way. It's on their Twitter page. Okay. Let's see here. Also, just a reminder, if you want to have the ability to support the channel or have control over some of the direction of it, consider checking out my Patreon page and see if you're interested in it. It's a good way to support me on a monthly basis. As little as $1 a month really, really helps. And of course, depending on your levels, there are different kinds of rewards. The most notable of which right now is the ability to vote on certain things. Alright, let's go to Total War's YouTube page, or Twitter page here. Obviously, you don't have to. It's just, you know, for people who want to go the extra mile. Get a job? It's almost like this is my job. Curious, isn't it? Bob Ross, if that's true, then Indy Pride is pulling crap out of his butt. I don't know what he could possibly be looking at that makes him think that he knows what the Lord of the Deeps is. What each spell is? Absolutely not. He is lying if he said that. I hope he didn't say that. Oh man, that would be a bold-faced pile of crap. Alright, do I do YouTube full-time? Yeah. He was just theorizing? Well, that's different. Someone was like, oh, he already totally said what it all is. And I'm like, well, unless he is like an insider at CA and is just leaking information, then there's no fucking way on earth he knows that. Because it's literally original content. There's no such thing as the Lord of the Deeps in Warhammer Fantasy. So somebody was asking what a merworm is. There's no YouTube drama. Dude, I think all of the Warhammer YouTubers are either A, too lazy, B, don't give enough of a crap, or C, just generally like messing with each other too much. I don't think there's ever been any serious drama. I'd take a bullet for Indy Pride. Even though if he claims to know what the Lord of the Deeps is, he's a dumbass. So, this is a merworm. Hopefully you'll be able to see it right. But a merworm are these really spectacular creatures that can be found all over the ocean in the really deep trenches, depending on their size. The bigger they are, the bigger of a trench they need. And they're basically primordial monsters, kind of like what you find in the jungles of Lustria. They're giant water lizards. Contrary to what you might expect, despite the fact they live in the sea, they have 4 limbs and are actually hysterically fast on land. They are not slow, and they have like 4 legs that carry them very, very quickly in straight lines. Where can I buy the DLC for the extra % off? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you go down into the description of this live stream, which you should be watching this live stream on this page, if you go to this page and you look in the description, you'll see a www.fanatical.com/ref=lsotec. If you go there, you can get the DLC 21% off instead of a measly 10% from Steam. Not only will you be getting a Steam key for it, but Fanatical has a very reliable backbase where they get all of their keys from reliable sources. You don't have to worry about them screwing over your favorite developers. And if you use that link, you can buy any game on their website and you'll be helping support the channel, not just Total War games. And they're running great discounts on almost all their games all the time, and they are usually lowballing beneath Steam. So if you want to get games for cheaper than you would on Steam and have a great time, and they're reliable keys that come from good sources, then Fanatical is the way to go. The fourth Lord is Lightdorf. Dude, now that we have Count Noctilus, Marius Lightdorf feels like he'd be really easy. Like, just give him, just give me a human, an insane human. Squats forever. It would be pretty impressive to see Sultan Jafar in the setting, seeing as he was literally a human, but he died like over 1,000 years ago. Where am I seeing this map? On here. Just scroll down. Oh, thanks, Logan. The 4th Legendary Lord's banner was data mined. Neat. I'm not going to look at it because I don't support data miners. Do not support data miners. They're not healthy for the community, and they don't do good things for the community. They're just a pain in the butt. They make developers' lives unfortunate. Ah, we got a new sponsor. Miniotopo the Gamer. Thanks for sponsoring the channel. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the Red Host, and I hope you enjoy the plethora of emotes we have. We have a lot more coming. Vane, I think, is working on another 5 or 6 right now. Therese, thank you. What do I think the main theme of Game 3 will be? I think it's going to be just... I think it might be the end times. Like, chaos on insanity. Will I take a look at the Lord videos? Oh yeah, I was going to do that. Thank you for reminding me. I got distracted. Was Milk and Cookies Total War the first guy to found Noctilus' banner? Maybe. I don't watch... Not for any, like, bad reason. It's literally just I'm so busy with my own stuff. I don't have time. I don't watch other YouTube creators that do the same thing I do. Because it's just, like... There's only so much time in a day. Okay, Total War... Oh, nope, that's the actual video. Can I, like, open this in a different tab? Of course not. That would just be easy. All right, so here's the videos. So you got RNS Saltspite here. Holy shit! She is like really acrobatic. Scissor kick. It looks really good. I love the peg legs. I know some people might not, but I fucking love the peg legs. Yeah, don't post data mines in chat. I'm gonna tell the mods to delete it. Don't do it. Data miners are bad. Okay. And then there's Noctilus here. Oh, I can full screen it. Noctilus is really boring. It's literally just him, like, walking around and then stroking his chin beard thing. Interesting. I think I liked RNS's a little more. He's actually, like, doing stuff. Kick! Scissor kick! You don't like how they did her fish jaw. It looks too large, making her face rather large. Also, from a distance, it looks like a blonde Abe Lincoln-style beard. Undertaker, I think you are insane, but you are entitled to your opinion, just like I'm entitled to think it is whack. Her peg legs look like toothpicks. I don't know, man. Those teeth on the edges of them look pretty dangerous. I'm pretty glad to have a mutant character, though. You mean it's not a beard? No, it's more like a chin strap. Murat Khan, that's a horrible pun. That is horrible. That is one of the worst puns I've seen today, and I read Party Elite's Twitter on a regular basis. Yeah, Daniel, we were talking about the Mortal Empires map. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Aiden. Arthur, I don't know. They expanded the map pretty substantially. Like Crookback Mountain is right. It's like right there, right there. So they might be adding it soon. No, I'm all too aware that Party Elite revels in his puns, even when I call him out. War Boss Gorguts? Sure. Still send it to me, or where to look for, find it over Discord. What do I think the fusion units would be for Saltspite? I think they would have told us anything. I think it's literally just the Sartosan Free Company. Mr. Happy Boomer, it might be Araby, seeing as they gave us the land of the Dervishes. Seems like they're expanding that part of the map a bit. Hold on a sec. Which part of the maps have been added? So, from what I have read on Reddit and been looking at, Sartosa is now on the Mortal Empires map, though that was added last patch, but still. The land of the Dervishes. The land of the Dervishes is brand new on Mortal Empires. The Heart of the Jungle, which is the Wood Elf area, is brand new on Mortal Empires. And I read some people said that Chupyodal's been added, but I haven't seen any super evidence of that yet. A very dissatisfied dwarf, yes. I think she's going to be very much about anti-large. Ow, that was actually really painful. Like a... What even was that? Like a little string of something, and it was like stabbing me in the gums. You see that there's a little island near to Skrulk's position? Yeah, that's Chupyodal. It's on the Vortex map. I don't think it was on the Mortal Empires map till now. I don't remember it being on Mortal Empires, but I don't play that part of the map very often. Pork, I really hope so. Any Queen Bess info lore-wise? Only thing I can really tell you about it is that Queen Bess is a colossal cannon that was originally forged by the Empire. It was a Empire Hellhammer cannon, and it was captured and plundered by Luther Harkin, who kind of dressed it up to fit his aesthetic. Got any lore on Contessa or the Silver Princess? Contessa doesn't have any lore because she's not an actual like character in the lore. Her only thing is there was like a gallery of artwork that an artist made for the Vampire Counts that was featured in the Big Red Book for 8th edition. And she was one of the characters featured in that. But there's no lore or anything to her. She's literally just a picture. And the Silver Princess, is already the leader of the Devil's Backbone faction, the host of the Silver, or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure she's already technically their faction leader, even though she's not like playable or anything. And there's a little bit of lore about her. I don't remember it off the top of my head. If I remember, it has something to do with, like, she was a Lamian, and something happened to her face that really messed it up, so she wears a silver mask. If memory serves correctly. I don't believe it's the Silver Princess. I think the data miners are wrong. Don't believe them. Don't believe data miners. Any thoughts on the 4 researchable lords for the Vampire Coast? Not really. I think if you had asked me that before the Tomb Kings came out, I would have had a lot of crazy crackpot theories. But I think it's just going to be a copy of the Tomb King version of that same mechanic where it's just 4 characters who, like, aren't actually super interesting from the lore perspective. They just have interesting power. Liam, if you join my Discord, we literally have an entire channel dedicated to bets about who the 4th legendary lord is. It's called I think it's called the Brave and the Foolish Arena, which I'll be doing another post in there today. Thank you, Vane. Hamza. It depends, man. If it's a really badass character, then who cares? As long as it's not fucking Gorst again, or something like Gorst, then I don't care. Yep, Ollie Mills. We have talked extensively about it. I just like Albrecht even more than Ghost. Yeah, Albrecht's super generic. If I didn't have a picture to go off of, who would make a 4th great legendary lord for Vampire Coast that hasn't yet been confirmed? I would have said Van Geist. I would have sided with Team Van Geist. But after they did the whole spiel of saying it was a siren and that it's a woman, and now that I've seen the background, I don't think it's a character we know. I think it's somebody new. Stefanos, I think if they wanted to do the Southern Realms or Araby, I think they can manage it if they wanted to. I would be surprised to see Drekla, because Drekla was only an End Times character. He literally doesn't exist outside the End Times. Uh, Bane. I would kill Noctilus, marry Arnessa, and you can fill in the gap on the last one. Will Albion be a faction? Unlikely. Jamie, maybe, but I doubt it. Maybe, but I doubt it. Stephanos, I honestly would have been satisfied with only 2 legendary lords. But they've said 4, so I'm going to take it. Jeremy, I don't know. I mean, they've started adding more settlements down here. Like they've added 2 more provinces to the southern part of the Southland, so maybe. Maybe. Undertaker, I mean, yeah, but that also would have been twice as much work. How many racial DLCs are there going to be? I don't know. That depends on how well this sells. Probably. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If the DLCs continue to sell really well, then I honestly think that Creative Assembly is going to keep adding. If Warhammer starts to sell poorly, then we'll probably start seeing it wrap up. Lord Kogov, this is an official map. You still want the fish people in Shepudal? I feel like the fish people might be a bit redundant at this point. Drachenfels? I think I'd rather have Genevieve than Drachenfels. Pygmies? Oh, no way. No fucking way. They're never going to touch Pygmies. That would be so bad. That would be so bad. You can't do Pygmies anymore, man. The way the world is, you can't do Pygmies. That was some of the most racist shit I've ever seen in a tabletop game. There's no way in hell they'll ever touch that again. The Pygmies were horrible. Amazons could be done. Pygmies, though, absolutely not. Horgath so my patrons on Patreon are gonna get to decide the order of campaigns. Um, for me personally, like on my personal time, I'm probably gonna do a RNS Saltspite campaign. That's my first one. What were the pygmies? Google them. You can literally just Google Games Workshop pygmies. It's bad. It's really bad. Undertaker, that'd be kind of nice. I'd rather have a Chaos Lord in the Brass Keep, not a vampire, but I mean, Dieter Helston's kind of in a weird gray area there. Do I think Araby would cause PR troubles? I don't know. I don't think it would, so long as they like didn't like, because the thing about Araby and Warhammer is it's not based on. I think this could be totally asinine, and I'm not gonna delve into it because I don't know, but I would think that the people who would get offended from having their culture in a game from the Middle East would care more about if it was like a mirror of their religion, whereas the Arabian Warhammer has nothing to do with religion. It's literally just an aesthetic, with scimitars uh, and elementals and all sorts of other stuff like that. I don't think it would cause a bunch of problems, but I could be wrong, and I that would be up to those people, not me. Obviously, I'm just a fat white dude. Bjorn, that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, old Warhammer was not very politically correct, so to speak. Ariel in the Southlands? I don't think so. I think if they're gonna bring a Wood Elf Legendary Lord and put him in the Southlands, I'm hoping for the Sisters of Twilight. Goodbye, Johan. Kislev win? Probably game 3. Josiah, maybe. I don't know. Can't say I agree with that, War Boss. Pretty sure Games Workshop is doing better now than it ever has. Having a little bit of tact never hurt anyone. Who do I think will be the Skaven DLC Lord? I'm hoping for Thanquol. I have a bad feeling it's not Thanquol, but I hope for Thanquol. Also, just a quick announcement. We're going to be doing a fuckload of Vermintide this weekend because it's a double XP weekend. And there's also an event going on I intend to participate in. So there will be a lot of really big Q&A live streams while playing Vermintide. And also we'll be playing it on Twitch. And it has a Twitch integration mode, so y'all will be able to have the ability to like vote on what's going to be happening while I'm playing through it. So you'll be able to either help me by summoning buffs, or you can be a bunch of assholes and summon a boss to try and kill me. Why not Ikit? Because you asked me who I wanted, and I want Thanquol. Ikit seems more likely. I think, honestly, it's either going to be Ikit Claw or Throt the Unclean. It's going to be one of the two. Faction predictions for Game 3. Demons of Chaos, Chaos Dwarves, Ogre Kingdoms, Kislev. So I think we will get a Vermin Lord, not in the next DLC, no. If the new Legendary Lord is indeed a brand new character, do you think it would be a trend? For minor factions that don't have a lot of lore, yeah. Who is Throt the Unclean? I would recommend Googling him, but he is the He is the greatest beast shaper and master molder of Clan Molder. So he's like the ultimate beast tamer and creator. He created the Hell Pit Abominations. Like, he made the very first one. They are his invention. Do you think we are getting salamanders with the Lizardman DLC? We fucking better, man. I think they're going to do Dawizar in Game 3. 100%. Yep, I think they're going to be a release faction. John Kennedy, in that story, he accidentally summoned Scarbrand, the Greater Demon of Khorne. Also known as the Exiled One. Because Scarbrand was the genius who tried to stab Khorne in the back, and that went predictably. Who should be the next legendary lord for the Lizardmen? 10 and 1, obviously. My main man, my big man, my captain. Which one is more likely, Thanquil or Ikit Claw? Probably Ikit Claw. If they do Thanquil, it's going to be part of an event, more than likely, as much as I hate to say that. Do I think they will do Croak? I don't know. Croak seems like he'd be really difficult to implement. I think I'm expecting the free LC Lord to be Gorok, personally. Because Gorok is also from Itza. Which Gorok is the Great White Lizard. He's literally like a giant, tanky fucking Saurus. So the Prophet and Gorok, yeah, those are my hopes for the Lizardman release. Does Kislev have enough characters making the legendary lords? Yeah. Kislev has a number of famous characters. They also have their own lore of magic, so that'll be nice. Where's the other skink from? The one who's the big caster? Teto Echo is from Tluxlan, the city of the moon. Do I think they're going to give Game 2 more races than 4 legendary lords? What? Oh, probably, but not for a while. Seems like they're very deliberately bringing all of them up to 4 to start. Would I do Araby / Kislev as a 4 Lord campaign packs or 2 Lord race packs? I would have Kislev be a starter faction for Game 3, so neither. Christopher, yes, there is a rumor that Wood Elves might be seeing a legendary lord at some point because they added the Heart of the Jungle into the Southlands. Not for a while, the game is more than a year old now. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean the DLC is coming in Game 2's life cycle. Plus, the release schedule for 2 has been way slower than 1. I'm expecting 2 more DLCs for Game 2. I'm expecting the Lizardman vs. Skaven DLC and then 1 more campaign pack before 3. Who is stronger in a one-on-one fight, Gorok or Krokgar? If they were both fighting on foot, then Gorok would probably win. If they were fighting just with no holds barred, then Krokgar. Do I think we'll get Zombie Pirate Skaven? No. That would require unique assets with unique animations. Alagaz, you're thinking of Erloth. Erloth is interesting. He's like one of the only special characters in Tabletop who didn't have any magic items, which was really bizarre. Alright, gents. We've been going for 75 minutes, and pretty much at this point, we've just been doing Q&A stuff for like the last 30 at least. I appreciate you all joining me for now. I'm going to head off so I can go do some research so I can put out my Lore of the Deeps video tonight. So I hope you're all looking forward to that. And I will, if you haven't already, Vane is going to be posting, Vane Warlord is going to be posting the Discord link a bunch of times in the chat. Consider coming over and joining us. That's the fastest place to find out when I'm live streaming. Talk to me, of course, on a regular basis. And you can even join the bet thread where we are all debating heartily about who the 4th Legendary Lord is. So if you want to come and join that, feel free to pop on over and say hello. In any event, I will see you guys tonight for my Lord of the Deeps video. It won't be a live stream, it'll be a video. And I will be back with a live stream very early tomorrow morning. I'm going to try and be up and live streaming before Creative Assembly releases the 4th Legendary Lord, because I'd like to react to it live, seeing as I think it's going to be pretty exciting. In any event, if y'all want to do me a huge favor, please consider hitting that like button on your way out. If we could get to 200 likes at least, that would make me feel pretty good. It may seem stupid, but YouTube really cares about this sort of thing. If you throw down a lot of likes, that's going to be more likely to boost the videos, so more people are likely able to see it, which means more people will watch it, which means that, you know, it'll help the channel and it helps me. So if you like being here and you like what I do, then please consider just hitting that on your way out. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you around. Have a good day. Bye.